I've been talking a little bit lately about emotions and how hard it can feel to get yourself out of a rut or a funk or just that feeling of lowness. Maybe you're feeling down, flat, lonely. Maybe you're feeling that you are just not enough. And all you want is to be happy. But happiness seems so far away, doesn't it? So far away. It's across a huge, great chasm. And because it's so far away, that just makes our feeling of lowness even bigger. And we think, well, what can we do? It's so hard. We want to snap out of it. But how do you even do that? Well, I want to give you a tool that's going to help you. And it's going to surprise you because it might not be what you think it is. And what I want to share with you, and I'm going to share my screen with you in a second. I want to share the Abraham Hicks emotional guidance scale. And this is going to teach you that you can't get from here, low, to here, being happy just by jumping because it's too hard. But the way that you get from being low to being happy is you take little tiny steps. And what are those steps? Well, here are those steps. And if you would like a copy of this, just let me know. I'm very happy to send you one through Messenger or email. You let me know how you want it. So I'm going to share my screen. And here it is. This is the emotional guidance scale. Now, you can see down the bottom here, the very, very lowest feeling that we can have is fear, grief, desperation, and despair. So it's no wonder that happiness and joy seem so far away. But if you look at the next level above it, which is guilt, unworthiness, scrutiny, which is just like looking into everything, cataloging all the bullshit and all the feelings, that's actually one step out of it. And then when you get to that state, then you can lift yourself up and you'll find the next one is jealousy. And yes, I know jealousy is not a great emotion, but jealousy is away from down the bottom. And remember, we're just taking steps, because if you go from sad to happy or angry to happy, it's hard to maintain, isn't it? Because it's such a big jump. So we just got to make our way through. And when we start to feel jealous, the interesting thing about that is we become aware of what it is that we want. So we are forward projecting. Then, of course, we get angry. We get angry. We go up the scale to the next one and we get angry and we're pissed off. We're really pissed off. And you know what? Then we go to plotting our revenge, wanting to get back at people. And even though this is not a positive emotion, it's productive. Please don't act on it. But it is productive in that you start putting together plans in your mind which are valuing you. So you're already stepping up. So even though you're like, I just want to do this, I just want to do that, and they deserve this and they deserve that, even though they're not good thoughts, they're thoughts that are on your side. Can you see that? They're on your side. So then you can move up. Then you feel discouraged. You're just like, well, I can't do that because I'll end up being arrested. And I don't want to go to jail, and you just drop down and down and down. And then you go into blame, if only they didn't do this, if only they didn't do that, if they were different, I'd be happier. Worrying. And then we start to move up the scale. Worry to doubt, disappointment, you become overwhelmed. And it's just easier little jumps. And yes, I know that they are not pleasant, but is where you are right now pleasant if you're in those lower states? You're going to find it's just so much easier because none of these emotions last for very long if you've got another place to go. And when you've got this scale handy, you can actually go and select something to feel. And I know that that sounds weird, but you can. You can. It's a bit like making a choice. Well, I want to feel pessimistic. I want to feel like the world's never, ever going to change and that it's always going to be shit and no one's ever going to want me. And then you're going to wear that out because every storm runs out of rain eventually. then you're just going to get bored and you're going to be like, then you take action and you decide that there's something you want to do. And that's where it all starts to kick in and you're like, fuck them, fuck them. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to do this for me. And then you start to make a plan. You make a commitment. You start to feel hopeful because now you're actually looking and you're moving in towards the direction that you want instead of just like spooning the quicksand all over you to make sure that you stay there. Then you start to feel a bit hopeful, optimistic, positive. You start to believe that other things can happen. Oh, I've just noticed that believe is spelled wrong on this. Terrible. I didn't make it. There, I'm back in the blame again. Then you become enthusiastic, eager, and you start to feel a bit of happiness under your own steam. You develop a sense of passion because maybe you're taking on something new. And the next thing you know, you're right at the top feeling some joy, appreciation for yourself, empowerment, freedom, and even love for where you're at. Now, you cannot experience any of that from down the bottom. You just can't. And your need to want to feel that from down the bottom is you simply punishing yourself for not being happy and preserving the negative state. So let me know if you want a copy of this and I will whip it over to you via inbox, including the spelling error. That wasn't mine. But this has been really helpful for me in the past because it's the little steps that actually take you the furthest. It's the little steps. And it's also about not telling yourself, don't feel this way. I don't want to feel this way. Because every time you say, I don't want, you're actually focusing on what it is that you don't want. This allows you to climb the ladder and get what you do want. Let me know if you've seen this before. Let me know if you use something similar. Let me know what your process is for getting yourself out of those moods. Because we're all human. It's all about sharing. Hope that helps. I really, really do hope it helps. Let me know if you want a copy.